everybody. Kirsten from Western New York, Energy Healing here, sitting at the VA hospital. I'm volunteering to help nurses who need an energy boost today. And it's kind of quiet at the moment, so I thought I'd get on and try YouTube Live while I'm waiting for someone to come in. So, energy healing. Probably the word energy is clear and the word healing is clear by themselves. But when I tell somebody I'm an energy healer, many aren't familiar with what that is and what I do. It may sound bizarre or weird or unusual, but I'll tell you right now that energy healing is probably the most ancient, natural form of healing on the planet. Our bodies are made of energy. Every thought that's in our brain, those little synapses and neurons. If you're taking biology and don't remember, or if you've never taken biology, or you really wasn't your favorite, you still understand that our body is made up, basically our nerves are made up of those electrical impulses, right? Our bodies are energy at the smallest cellular level, at the smallest atomic level. We are energy. Every single atom is energy. So basically, energy healing, rather than being woo-woo, is physics and biology and chemistry. When I tell somebody I'm an energy healer, what I want to tell them is think about it this way. Your cell phone has different levels of battery strength. When you're at 100%, your phone works really well. You can communicate, you can send messages, receive messages, you can go live on YouTube like I am right now. You can do a lot of GPSing. I know that's not a word, but I'm an English teacher. I like to make things up that are kind of more fun than just the standard word and language. Yes, I'm also an English teacher. That has been my profession for a long time, but energy healing is my profession and my passion. So, the idea is that you want to have your cell phone at 100% as long as possible. And your battery will go down with use, right? When is the point that you want to recharge it? Well, I notice from my phone, once it gets to 25%, it goes down really fast. It probably is the same speed going down from 100, but it seems to go really fast from 25% down to 10% and 5%. And yes, I have actually once run it down to 0. And I know other people who have too. And then you have to wait for it to recharge. But if you plug it in at some point before it gets to that 25%, it doesn't take as long to recharge because there's not as much depletion of the battery. Well, energy healing works the same way for people. Why would anybody want to run themselves down to 25%, 15%, 10%, 5%, or 0% energy? Qi, from qigong, tai chi, is energy, with the overlay of acupressure points, and ancient traditional Chinese medicine. What I do is I help to bring that qi back up. So you can recharge yourself in one of the best ways is sleep, right? And how many of us have disrupted sleep? I do. A lot of people I talk to do. How many of us need caffeine in the morning to get going? How many of us drink energy drinks to get going? Exercise can sometimes get you going. These are actually all ways to kind of amp up that energy. But you know that energy slump that some of us have? That energy slump is probably something that comes from not really recharging. So eating foods that really power your body, feed your cells, that would be one of the best ways to raise your energy and your chi. And I'm not talking caffeine, I'm talking about the right combination. And I'm not a dietitian and I'm not a nutritionist, but I do know that the right balance of vegetables, especially vegetables and fruits, meat, and if you're a vegetarian, like I am half the time, you definitely, want to find protein sources. You want to find, especially, you know, carbohydrates that are slow carbs, slow burn carbs to fuel you. All of these help with your chi and help to bring your battery back up, to use the metaphor of the cell phone, to bring you back up to 100%. Eating the right kinds of food to fuel you recharges you. Getting enough sleep recharges you. Getting quality sleep recharges you. I also think about exercise. In the right balance, the right timing can really help with recharging you. Qigong itself, Tai Chi, and some other forms of martial arts also are really good at building chi or energy. So if you've ever taken karate or taekwondo, karate, and there's a whole lot of other ones that I'm not as familiar with, you are working with chi because you're working with movements. Dance actually helps to raise your chi as well. So there are lots of ways to work with and raise your chi, your energy. The other way is to do self-reiki, learn self-reiki, get attuned, and learn how to send universal energy down from the universe into your hands and into your body. So that's what I'm planning to do with the nurses today, is as they come in, I'm going to be giving them an energy boost. I'm going to be helping them recharge their batteries through the universal chi or ki. Reiki is based on the same Chinese character. Ki and chi are the same Chinese character. So whether you're talking Tai Chi, Qigong, Reiki, they are all that energy idea or concept. And so that's one way you can do it. Learning to do for yourself. A lot of people go to a Reiki practitioner for this also. And like a lot of cancer hospitals, cancer treatment centers have Reiki volunteers or Reiki practitioners on staff. And that is fabulous to help cancer patients get back on their feet, feel better. So it's being Reiki specifically is being embraced by many medical establishments as they see the value that it offers to their patients and their clients. That's why I'm here at the hospital, because somebody has recognized that it helps the staff, not just the patients. Also, there's research out of major hospitals like John Hopkins and the Mayo Clinic that show that when somebody's getting surgery, if somebody on the surgical team, a medical professional, is sending Reiki to the person who's undergoing surgery, they recover faster, they have less pain post op, and it promotes that whole healing process. Energy healing really helps with all kinds of healing, but also pre-op and post-op. You can be a Reiki practitioner and you can send it either distance or in person to help anyone who is going through major procedures heal better and faster. Energy healing is absolutely fantastic at doing these things. You don't have to believe it to receive it. You don't have to believe it to benefit from it. Medical Qigong is a little different from Reiki. It is more potent, more powerful, more directed, and it works with the acupuncturist system, the acupressure system, the meridian system, and that is where I really like to focus the most, because I've had 4 years of training in the medical Qigong, and before that, a lot of training in teaching Qigong. So there's two parts to healing when we're dealing with medical Qigong or being a medical Qigong therapist, as I am. And that is, you have the self movement. Tai Chi is good, but Qigong, I think, is even better. And it's not just this. That's just what I can demonstrate sitting here. That's the self-healing part. And that, if it's done as a daily practice, it really helps to keep everything flowing and balanced. I've met a number of people who have cured themselves of MS and other diseases where they were told there was no chance of recovery, and they have rebounded. It didn't come overnight, it took time. And they have gone on to be some of the biggest Qigong practitioners and teachers. Qigong really does work, and having a personal Qigong practice is one of the best guarantees of good health and of recovery faster, of having a stronger immune system. And then there's also the Qigong medical practitioner like myself, who works with and feels what's going on in the meridians, which are kind of like, think about blood vessels, send the energy of blood through them. Our meridians send the energy of energy through them. So I work with that. I work with the specific points. Sometimes there's different protocols for acupuncture points or acupressure points, but I don't actually use needles, and I don't actually put my finger or my hands on them. Instead, I'm sending energy in, or if there's a blockage, I take it out. And there are many, many ways to do that. So you can get a similar treatment to acupuncture without needles by seeing a medical Qigong therapist, sometimes called clinical Qigong or Qigong energy healing. It's all the same thing, and also sometimes called Daoyin energy healing. Daoyin is apparently a more traditional way of referring to Qigong. And so when you go to someone like me, you're going to have help with bringing that energy that you have back into balance. There is yin and yang, which a lot of people are familiar with the yin yang symbol. that is part of energy healing as well. I will see, are you do you have excess yin, excess yang, or maybe deficient yin, deficient yang? Where is it out of balance? What is it that I need to be working with? Acupuncturists are really good at explaining about that. If you go into an acupuncturist, they will often like look at your tongue, and take your pulses, and they'll be able to tell you terminology like that. I don't work with it quite the same way. I scan your whole body, and I feel like which organs, which meridians seem to me to be the ones that need the attention. I can even often sit across the room and pick up a lot of that. I don't do it like when I'm hanging out with people. There's a time for my energy healer hat. There's a time for my teacher hat. There's a time for me just to be me, and just to be a good friend, and just to be a person, a random person that you don't want to interact with, or you do. But when I'm in my energy healer role and wearing my energy healer hat, I do pick up where the deficiencies or the excesses are, and I work with them. One of the best things I ever did was we had to do 40 case studies for our 4th year, which is considered to be equivalent to the doctorate year. And I decided to focus on migraines. And I've actually done over 100 case studies on migraines. And I found that there's definitely similar energetic patterns and emotional patterns for almost every migraine sufferer. So far, I've seen really good results with migraine mitigation and relief. Curing migraines is out of my control because so much of that is based on where the origin of the migraines started. But I've had people with 24/7 migraines who are feeling relief. And not noticing their migraines so much. I've had people who had migraines like every 4 to 5 weeks who aren't getting them every 4 to 5 weeks. Or the aura comes and it reverses without them having to do their rescue meds or their regular medication. Energy healing, especially medical qigong, really can help with mitigating migraines. But it doesn't stop there. There's a spiritual aspect as well as the emotional, physical aspect to energy healing. So another modality I work with is something called theta healing, which was developed and founded by Vianna Stibel. And that works in so many different ways. And it works with the creator energy, the God energy, if you will. And it helps also to get to the root of why we are sick or ill or unhappy or stuck. So it can be from experiences in this life. It can be emotional and traumatic experiences, memories that might contribute to illness. It might be beliefs that you have. I think sometimes the beliefs that we get from our families, from our teachers, our friends, our own experiences in early life probably have the biggest impact. And even though you might say, well, how would that cause migraines? If we dig deep enough into your beliefs and we find a bottom belief that might somehow be contributing to that, and we can change that belief, we can replace it with an empowering, positive, beneficial belief, those migraines might be completely gone. Because energy, the emotional energy, the mental energy, the energy behind those beliefs is often what causes our pain and suffering. Of course, in theta healing, we also work with the family beliefs, the genetic, all the way back 7 generations or even longer to kind of figure out what beliefs, what attitudes, what events might be contributing to your illness or your imbalance, or migraines, for example. So where is it in the family line? It's not uncommon to hear about people talking about migraines being running in families and other illnesses and diseases running in families. There is definitely a physical gene component to that, but there's also an emotional imprint that gets passed down through one generation to the next. And then there's also what we call group consciousness, the energy of the community, of the land, of history that can impact us. If you believe in past lives, those definitely impact us. And if you don't believe in past lives, there's still the energy of history, of groupthink that impacts us. And your very soul. Theta healing does have one requirement, and that is that you believe in a higher power and that you're connected to your soul, your spirit. And that's all I'm going to talk about today, but I wanted to kind of give people an idea about what energy healing is, how it's not woo-woo, because I've been hearing that a lot from people. Well, that's just woo-woo you do. Well, then physics and biology and chemistry are woo-woo too. Our cell phones are woo-woo. Our Wi-Fi is woo-woo. I don't believe in cell phones. No, of course I do. I'm talking on one to you right now. This is being recorded in the ether, if you will. I guess it's stored on servers somewhere. But it was at one time considered woo-woo to go live on YouTube and talk about my thoughts and theories and feelings. Wow. Yeah. So I'm Kirsten. I am the owner and founder of Western New York Energy Healing. I work with people all over. I don't just work with people right here and right now that are physically with me, though that is probably what most energy practitioners work with. It is very possible, just like you could be anywhere in the world watching this, scrolling through YouTube, but you might be looking at this years later. It is very possible for me to be able to work with you remotely. Most of my migraine success stories are from people who are not living in Western New York, and they are getting relief. They're seeing changes. For some people, it's faster. For other people, it's slower. And my main observation with that was simply this. If you have a qigong practice, even if it's a simple one, and you do it daily or regularly, you're contributing to your own energy healing, to bringing that yin and yang and all the meridians back into balance a lot faster, and releasing whatever the beliefs are, the blocks, when you're doing a qigong practice. When I have clients that are not doing any kind of energetic practices, it's going to take longer just because there's not something they're doing to help contribute it to the self-healing. So that's what I want to say. This has been a great 25 minutes. I'm hoping to have somebody coming soon. And so bye for now.